Mona, and I was going to attempt the Crocodile tumbler. So I was just going to show you how I did it. I did watch the Rubies and Relics YouTube tutorial. That was so helpful. And I have everything that she recommended. I have my fast set epoxy that I'm mixing. This is liquidy split from KS Resin. This is a 30-ounce fatty. I believe it's a fatty. Yeah, 30-ounce fatty from Stainless Steel. I have the wrapper that came in the box with that. I got the matte on Amazon. It's the New York Cake Crocodile impression mat. Said it wasn't going to be here for several weeks, but it actually came really fast. And I have my scrunchies. I only have 3, so I might use a couple of zip ties. And I spray painted it matte black, like she said. And so I've got, let's see. So when you get the matte, the one I had purchased was 22.5 inches by 15 inches. So I wrapped it around the tumbler and marked it off and cut it so that it would fit this exact tumbler. I did have some left over, so hopefully I can make a template for another tumbler. So I started with my biggest one that I had. I don't know if you could do this with a tapered tumbler. I would guess that you probably could do it with a tapered tumbler. However, you're gonna cut your mat tapered or have a big overlap, so those are just small things to think about. So I started it with my largest straight. Maybe I can reuse this cut piece on a fatty. This one's already been epoxied with stuff, but yeah, it's possible. No, well, it barely fits, and so this one would be thinner after. So yeah. This one would probably work on a 22-ounce fatty as well. So that was one cut that worked for both. So I should be able to get both sizes out of this one template. So I'm going to double check my measurements because I don't want to get this all on and it not fit right. So I don't know if this one's plugged in yet. There's little smuts. Yeah. Okay, and oh crap, I just spilled my epoxy. I wonder if that's enough. We're gonna try. She didn't say how much epoxy to use in the tutorial. We'll get it on and see if it feels like enough. So this is still just over 10 mils liquidy split. So we're gonna see if that's enough. Hopefully it is. And I don't have the same mica she did. So I'm going to use Pink and Purple Monkey. I don't think this is going to be enough. And she said don't get the bottom. I believe I just did that. Maybe that was a blessing that I did. She said don't epoxy the bottom. This is still way more than you would use for epoxy method glittering, so might be okay. At least I didn't ruin anything when I spilled it. So I use matte black Rusteoluem spray paint. I did sand and wash with blue on before I spray painted. Okay, so it's all coated except for the bottom. I'll let it roll around and make sure the top. So I had planned on doing 15 mils total, but that might be too much. Who knows? Maybe that was a good thing that it fell. Okay. Looks like it's all coated. And so we're gonna have to let it get tacky, so that's probably gonna take 45 minutes or so. I'll let you know before we do the next part. I'm gonna pop the bubbles now though. Just making sure it's all completely coated. Got a bigger torch, but it won't work right, so. Alright, we're gonna move to alcohol. So you do know once you start using alcohol, you can no longer torch. Alright, oh, and the color that I'll put on it is going to be number 3 Alton from Pink and Purple Monkey. So I didn't have the Woody's Giddies color, but I do have this, and it's like a gold to pink purple color, so that's the color I'll use. That's Pink and Purple Monkey. And so I'll be back once this gets tacky, and I'll show you my attempt to put the matte on it. So I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Hi friends. So it's been 30 minutes. I'm hoping that this is what's considered tacky. Put some gloves on. So I'm going to wrap the alligator around the tumbler and mesh it really good, and then I'm going to put this bubble wrap tube that came with the tumbler, it was in the box, over it to help kind of stabilize it, and then I'm going to put some scrunchies on it to help hold it, and then I'll check it in the morning. Should be fine. This is KS Resin Liquidy Split, the fast curing epoxy. Alright, so here goes nothing. Alright, so I'm going to use the straight edge to make sure I've got it good straight. Don't know how even I cut it at the end, so I can hear it like, oh, it sounds like bubble paper. Bubble wrap, pop pop pop. Oh, come on, turn. This motor doesn't free turn. There's all sorts of crap all over it. Just little bits of pieces of stuff. Okay, stop. Ooh. So I'm trying to mash it really good. However, it is wanting to kind of move, so hopefully that's not smearing the epoxy in bad ways. So I'm trying to be real careful to make sure I just squeeze it and not move it. I hope that makes sense. So I can see in some places where it's kind of grabbing on to the epoxy, it's darker. don't know how it's going to do right here on the overlap. Okay, so now we're going to put the sleeve on. Maybe. Definitely it would help if you had someone helping you. And like she said in her tutorial, the sleeve was really just to make sure that no epoxy got on the scrunchies. Okay, so she kind of re-squeezed it. Get that one all the way to the top. Then she re-squeezed it again. And then since I didn't have as many as hers, I'm going to use a couple zip ties just to make sure it holds. Hopefully that'll keep it good. Good and tight on there. Push it on the bottom real good. I really want this to work, and I don't know if I used enough epoxy, so if it doesn't work, I would say that we could say that I need more epoxy, because I only use about 10 mils. Why not, right? Okay. Hopefully this works. We will see in the morning. And then tomorrow, if it works, I will spray paint it black with another coat of matte spray paint. And then as the spray paint's tacky, I'm going to try to put this number 3 Alton from Pink and Purple Monkey on it to hopefully recreate the effect. So cross your fingers. And I think we let it spin. I'm going to cut these off. Hopefully I can get them off the cup tomorrow. We're going to let that turn overnight. So I will let y'all know tomorrow what happens. Cross your fingers. I want to make a beautiful cup. Just like rubies and relics. Bye guys. Good morning, friends. So my Crocodile tumbler has been turning overnight with the fast set, so now we're going to try to get it off the turner and see what happened. So let's see if I can get these zip ties trimmed. The scrunchies. Get the baggie. Alright, so let's see what happens. So you can see it's still holding on. I can see the dark spots. So that kind of looks promising. I don't know about right in here or anything. There's no dark spots, but let's see what happens. I believe it worked, guys. So that was just under 10 mils that I did. So knocking over that thing was pretty not that detrimental. So in the video, she like kind of picks at some of these white spots. She didn't mention what they are, so I was curious as to what they were. So it looks like it's just kind of flakes of epoxy. I don't know if they're good or bad. It looks like they might need to come off before I spray paint. I don't know. Not all of them flake. That one. Zoom me in a little bit so you can see it. Sorry the light's not better over here. Alright, so. Ooh, I hope I didn't just crack my motor. Alright, I'm going to move you over to the light. So here's what it looks like. There are some little flappies that need to be pulled off. I don't know how to prevent that in the future. So I'll go through and get those off, and later today I'll spray paint it with the matte spray paint, and then as it's tacky, I will put on the Alton mica powder. So this was just under 10 mils of liquidy split. So you don't have to use a whole lot of epoxy on that first initial attempt. But yeah, it's going to take a few minutes to get all those little pieces off. And she kind of picked at it at that original tutorial, but didn't mention what they were, so that's what they are. Don't know how to not have them, or that's the seam. That's what the seam looked like. Don't know how to get it better, or if that's just what they look like. Alright, so I will see y'all in a little bit. Bye. Hi friends, it's Mona with Rock City Tumblers, and I am attempting, this is my second attempt, to try to make the crocodile skin tumbler. So last night I tried it, and I don't know if I'll show the video in here, but I accidentally knocked over my quick setting epoxy, and so instead of being able to put 15 mils on the tumbler before I wrap the crocodile skin around it, I only put just under 10 mils. So I was going to show you how, without knocking over my epoxy again. So this is how it turned out. So they had a lot of these little flakes in it, which I noticed in Ruby's and relics. Hers had a few of them, but not near as many as mine did. So that's kind of where maybe there wasn't enough epoxy to stay in the chamber, the little raised area. Like, it did okay in some areas, and you can pick these out with a tweezer, but sometimes you can see where it pulled up all of the paint completely. So now I'm going to reattempt this with 20 mils of fast curing epoxy. I'm using liquidy split, and I only have 3 scrunchies, so I used a zip tie to help last time, so we'll see. I feel like it held together, so the zip tie I don't think was the problem. I think it was just not enough epoxy. So also I can't really tell the reason why we need to spray paint the base, so I'm going to do this one on a naked base, because the next step after this is to spray paint it. So hopefully that won't make a difference, but I will keep y'all updated. So I cleaned off the silicone mat with a piece of tape, packing tape. Okay, so I'm gonna get started here. It looked like the little cup that she was using was halfway full, so surely if this is enough, it's too much, if anything. So maybe that's a good thing. And she also said do not epoxy the bottom. So I'm going to come back in about half an hour when this is tacky and wrap the silicone crocodile skin around it. And then I'll wait a couple of hours, probably 4 hours, and then I'll pull that off. Hi friends, it's Mona. So I'm back. The fast setting epoxy has been on for about 30 minutes, and it is quite tacky. So now I'm going to wrap the cake wrap around it. Okay. You can hear the air popping in there. So let's hope this one does better, because there's twice as much epoxy than this one. So this one I did pick off a lot of the spots. You can see it pulled the paint up. And this was area I didn't get to, so I just decided to try again. So we'll see what this one does. I'll be back in a few hours to update you guys. Bye. Tried it twice and they both have just massive amounts of those all over them. So am I squeezing it too hard? Am I using too much? This one only had like 9 mils of epoxy. This one had 20. There's not that much difference. See, this came off completely when I was picking the spots. Put spray paint on it and it didn't look so bad. Interesting. So I picked off as much of the loose epoxy like that I could. And I went ahead and spray painted it, and it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. So it's still drying a little bit. And I have this eyeshadow brush. And then I have this mica powder. It's number 3 Alton from from Pink and Purple Monkey. It's a Super Chameleon Mica powder. And I think she's sold out at the moment. But it's real similar to what was used in the Rubies and Relics YouTube tutorial. So, let me show you. So when you take the cake mat off, all of the spots have these little, not all of them, but most of them for me. I don't know if I was squeezing it too tight. I'm still trying to figure out what I've done wrong. But after you spray paint it, you kind of don't notice it as much. So I kind of got as much flaking off as I could. And now I'm just waiting for the paint to get tacky, which it is in spots. So like right there, let me just try a little bit, see what happens. Make sure y'all can see. So glad she did this tutorial because I've had this mica pigment color. Didn't know what to do with it. It's really pretty. Never would have come up with this on my own. Ever in a million years. You know, the little flaking almost gives it like realistic, like it's alive. It's like dry and needs some lotion. And I did kind of try to brush it off with the chip brush to get any of the looseness off. So maybe that helped some. Alright, there you have it. Oh, it's so pretty. I think I can live with it. Alright, so tomorrow I'll probably put some more epoxy on it, and I'll give y'all an update. Can y'all see that? It's like gold to purple. It's the bottom. It's not perfect, but alright, I'll see y'all after I epoxy it. Hey guys, it's Mona. So this tumbler here was the one that I did not base coat black before I did the cake mat. So you know, it still had the same flake problems that the other one had, and this one had twice as much epoxy. So I'm not sure what is up, but if you just go ahead and spray paint on top of it, get the loose flakes off. I used a chip brush and got the loose flakes off. Apparently it's not really noticeable. So and so it's been over 15 minutes. I'm still letting that spray paint on this one completely get tacky, whatever you want to call it. I think I oversprayed it a little bit. It didn't take as long on the other one for it too. I wonder if I can use a heat gun on it. It's just still barely damp, too damp to use. But I was gonna go ahead and tell you. So for this one, instead of using the purple to gold shift, I was gonna use this Nerida, Nerida, it's number 35, Super Chameleon Mica Powder. It's from Pink and Purple Monkey, and it is like a turquoise to green shift. Maybe a turquoise to purple. It looks green in the vat, but then when I pick it up, it looks blue. Green, blue. Okay, so it's been 18 minutes since I sprayed this. It's still quite damp. You can see there's spots of wet. I guess I oversprayed it. Spraying in the dark, so I kind of wasn't gauging it too much. So it's 34% humidity, 71 degrees in this room. I actually have the heater turned on more than that, but it's not kicking on. So there's just some places that the spray paint kind of puddled, and it's still damp. So I don't know if I can get gravity to pull it down or what. If you can use a heat gun. So I don't use a lot of mica. I buy it, but I don't use a lot of it. I have some flakes that I've used, but I use it on almost cured epoxy. I had this one color. While we're waiting. It's called June. And I don't really know what it would do. I wonder if I can just dab a dip on the bottom. See what happens. This is from Simply Sarah. So these are her birthstone collection. I don't know what the June birthstone is. It's my husband's birthstone. So it's like a rose color. It's like a rose to gold. It's not as pretty as the pink and purple though. It's more subtle. Hi friends, it's Mona. So I was going to put epoxy on the Crocodile skin tumblers, and I did spray one light coat of clear matte sealer Rusteoluem. So hopefully that was enough. I don't usually work with the Chameleons a whole lot, so hopefully that was enough. We shall see. And I have Stone Coat Art Coat UV resin here, and so I mixed up 60 mils, so hopefully that's enough. So let's see what happens. So lots of bumps to get the epoxy into. Go slow so we don't get a whole lot of bubbles. Mixing up epoxy, this is taking quite a bit. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have enough to do the second one. So there's all those crannies and nooks that this epoxy has to fill, so it does take, at least on this first coat, it does take a little bit more than you would normally do for a first coat. The color is so gorgeous. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go put that one on the turner, and I will do the other one. And I'll show you how it turns out. Bye, guys. I'm so happy with how these turned out. I can't thank Amanda with Rubies and Relics more for this tutorial that she showed us, and I hope you enjoyed riding along on my experience. And please like, subscribe to our channel to get more helpful tips. So thanks so much, and we will see you next time.